I'm Leticia Ordaz.
And I'm Teo Torres. Let's get a check on a forecast. We knocked it down a few notches from our highs we saw on previous days. Tamara enjoyed it yesterday.
Yeah, cool change we can all feel on this Wednesday morning as that Delta breeze is bringing in the cool air from the coast side. Right now here at the Exchange Hotel in downtown Sacramento, looking across the Golden One Center out towards the Capitol Dome. We do have some hazy sky, and temperatures currently again are running much cooler than this time yesterday morning. Top of the 6 o'clock hour, we're 10 degrees cooler in Sacramento, down by 9 degrees in Yuba City, running about 7 to 8 degrees cooler from Fairfield off towards Modesto, 2 to 5 degrees down in Auburn and Placerville, and even 6 degrees cooler this morning in South Lake Tahoe. That brings you to 51 currently in the South Shore. We're in the mid 40s in Truckee, waking up lower to mid 70s across the foothills, 61 right now in Yuba City, and look at that, 58 in Sacramento. Cooler as you travel the Interstate 80 corridor westward towards Fairfield. 55 degrees right now in Fairfield with this steady onshore wind really doing its job to kind of ramp up and bring that cool air into the valley. So a beautiful morning to have the windows open, and if you like to work out this time of day, you've got the refreshment again of those 50s and 60s to start the day. By lunchtime, temperatures move into the mid 80s. By 2 o'clock, we're in the low 90s and daytime high. Back to seasonable temperatures in the mid 90s, and we'll cool nicely again overnight tonight. But we do have some heat ahead, especially as we get into the weekend. I'll talk about how hot it's going to get and how long the next heat wave could last coming up in your full forecast. 6:02 is the time. Brian, are you tracking any issues for commuters?
So far, it's pretty quiet out there. We'll start with a live picture here along Highway 99, the frontage road between Mack Road and Cosumnes. You can see headlights southbound there on that northbound ride on the far side of your screen there, looking like things are moving along at the speed limit there on 99. In fact, I don't see any incidents along the 99 corridor on the maps. We can see everything in the green here as you come up through the Florin area, no problems there. And I-5 also problem free. So that north-south ride there through South Sacramento and Elk Grove looking good right now. Highway 50, no problems coming in from Folsom and coming in out of Roseville, Rockland area on Interstate 80, looking good there. Taking a look at 99, we had an earlier car fire right at Highway 88. That's over on the right-hand shoulder. No delays behind that. And I-5 also problem free. And then on Highway 4, we had an earlier car fire that they're still waiting on a tow truck to clear that one. But it's off in the field, so no delays along 4 in that stretch. Coming up through the 99 Modesto corridor into Manteca, not seeing any major delays there. Just an earlier incident on the right-hand shoulder. 205 right now is a 33-minute ride. Westbound 580, 30 minutes carrying you on down into Dublin. And then Highway 50, 10 minutes at Rancho Cordova to 99. Interstate 80 is at 9 minutes from Roseville to the Split. And 5 and 99 running at 11 minutes out of Elk Grove. Leticia.
Brian, thank you. New this morning, an overnight Amber Alert has been canceled and the children involved are safe. The Highway Patrol had activated an Amber Alert for Solano and Sacramento counties. They say around 7:45 last night in Vallejo, 34-year-old Damon Castaneda took his 3 sons between the ages of 4 and 7. The Amber Alert was deactivated at around 4:15 this morning when Castaneda and the boys were found safe. He has been arrested.
New this morning, a fire broke out in an abandoned boarded-up warehouse in Sacramento. Happened around 3:45 near 4th and U Streets. That's right next to the Interstate 5 and Highway 50 interchange. Crews were able to put out the flames quickly after arriving. A roof had collapsed, but they believe it was already partially collapsed. As we look at video here of those firefighting efforts. The warehouse has been abandoned for a long time, but is in a residential area. One neighbor says she heard somebody drive up and break into that building around 12:30 a.m.
I heard that some people right here, making a ruckus. They were being so loud and obnoxious. I heard metal clanging, which was them breaking into that building.
And arson investigators looking into the cause. Surrounding homes and apartments lost power, but SMUD crews were called in to restore it. Also new this morning, a fire briefly stopped train traffic in the Foothill Farms area along Roseville Road. Happened around 3 a.m. You can see that a train was stopped while crews worked on the fire. They were able to stop its progress, and the train moved along.
Happening today, the city of Sacramento is planning to clear homeless encampments from another neighborhood this morning. This comes after the district attorney opened an investigation into the city.
Cleanup is set to happen along C Street near 28th in the area near Land Leland Stanford Park. Mike Sell is there right now with more details on the growing tension between the city and the county over the homelessness crisis. Mike?
Well, let me give you a look at what it looks like here at 28th and C Street, because what is set to happen here this morning, highlighting an escalation between the city and county in dealing with the homelessness crisis. This spot, 28th and C Street's no stranger to encampments, as they have popped up and come and gone in this area for years. Yesterday, though, Sacramento County's district attorney revealed that it has opened an investigation into the city's actions or inactions on the issue of homelessness. In an interview with KCRA 3, the DA said, quote, "Nobody's above the law," and that the city has a duty to address public nuisance and safety issues. In response to that investigation, the city said it is, quote, "working urgently and diligently to address the current homelessness crisis and all of its complexities." But if we come back out here for another look at this scene this morning, we've already seen some of these individuals packing up their belongings to move out of this area. Again, they've been given until 8 a.m. It remains to be seen whether or not others will need to be forced to relocate or whether they will all move on their own. Regardless, it's yet another example of now rising tensions between the city and county on this issue of homelessness. At the intersection of 28th and C, Mike Tassell, KCRA 3 News.
Mike, thank you. Happening today, the 21-year-old accused of stabbing and killing two men in Davis and putting a woman in the hospital is set to be back in court. During his last court appearance, a judge determined Carlos Dominguez was not competent to stand trial, but prosecutors disagree. And now both parties are preparing to present the question before a jury. Today, the judge will be reviewing Dominguez's medical records and his competency exam. The trial to determine his mental competency is set to take place on Monday. Let's take a live look at the Golden One Center this morning from our Sky Camera. Happening here today, more than 800 children from across the state will gather to rally against gun violence. They are the California Youth Scholars, and today is a National Day of Social Action. Teaming up to sponsor today's event is the Children's Defense Fund California, the Roberts Family Development Center, and the Rose Family Creative Empowerment Center. Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg and State Superintendent Tony Thurmond will be among the keynote speakers.
Well, this morning, the Biden administration is out with new actions to lower prices and boost marketplace competition. It's a central part of what the president has been touting on the campaign trail. Our Amy Lou is in Washington this morning with more on where we will see these new cost-cutting measures.
Well, promoting competition is really top of mind for the Biden administration, which is targeting food, rental home prices, and company mergers. The president will meet with his competition council this afternoon to announce the new initiatives. The Agriculture Department is partnering with 24 attorneys general, cracking down on food price gouging in the grocery industry. It's also building on an effort to tackle junk fees. The administration wants to make it clearer where the fees you pay to apply for rental housing go. A new platform will allow you to comparison shop, seeing the true cost of rent and additional fees up front. That may include application, convenience, and background check fees. The Justice Department and Federal Trade Commission are working on guidelines reviewing business mergers and whether they follow federal antitrust laws. The guidelines could help identify mergers that undermine competition in markets and industries ranging from healthcare all the way to agriculture. In Washington, I'm Amy Lou, KCRA 3 News.
Thank you, Amy. The Agriculture Department is also trying to bring down food prices by cracking down on companies using patented seed varieties to deter competition.
Happening today, a world leader is visiting Washington and will meet with the president and speak to Congress.
Mike Cherry's live in studio now with more on today's visit and other things happening on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, so today President Biden will be welcoming Israel President Isaac Herzog to the White House, although Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is the actual leader of Israel. Though his position is largely symbolic, President Herzog will demonstrate the unbreakable bond between the U.S. and Israel. Herzog assured President Biden that Israel remains committed to democracy, and that's despite concerns that Netanyahu is attempting to overhaul the country's judicial system by replacing and reining in the power of unelected judges. Now, critics say that could destroy its system of checks and balances and move Israel closer to authoritarian rule. Herzog will then speak to Congress around 8 this morning to mark Israel's 75th year celebration. Now, while Herzog will be speaking, the main topic on Capitol Hill is the defense budget. The Senate voting on a broad bipartisan basis last night to start debating amendments to the National Defense Authorization Act today. Now, senators are considering dozens of additions to the annual military budget. There's a focus on boosting AI oversight, progressing defense alliances with other countries, as well as stopping the flow of chemical and drug supplies from China. There's also another proposal to open up records on unidentified phenomena, or UFOs. These amendments are more bipartisan than the House version of the bill, which enacted restrictions on women's health care and social policies. Now, the differences between the two versions will have to be worked out before it goes before President Biden. Also on Capitol Hill today, two whistleblowers who allege interference in criminal investigations into Hunter Biden's finances will testify before the Judiciary Committee. The IRS agents say the Justice Department interfered in their investigation. Republicans have panned the plea agreement for President Biden's youngest son on criminal tax and gun charges as evidence of corruption in the Justice Department. Now, one of the agents that started looking into the youngest Biden son's taxes in 2015 during the Obama administration, but it was the Trump Justice Department that initiated that investigation, which led to those charges. Leticia?
Thank you so much, Mike. The Biden administration is suspending funding for the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That follows months-long review that determined the Chinese Research Institute was not compliant with federal safety regulations. The Department of Health and Human Services also barred the Wuhan Institute with doing business with the federal government. The lab has not received funding from the National Institutes of Health since July of 2020. The facility plays a central role in theories that the COVID-19 pandemic may have originated from a lab leak there in late 2019. But investigators have not yet reached a definite conclusion on where the coronavirus originated.